Chapter 2.5, Implicit Differentiation. Now, when you do implicit, there are 4 steps, I guess you could say, to help solve problems. First thing you want to do is take the derivative with respect to x of both sides. Next, you want to move all terms with y prime, which can also be written as dy over dx, to one side. Next, you're going to want to factor out y prime, and then finally just solve for y prime. So for this problem here, x squared minus y squared equals 25. First step, take derivative with respect to x of both sides. So we're going to take the derivative of this whole thing. Derivative of x squared is just 2x minus derivative with respect to x of y squared is 2y y prime, and then derivative of any constant is 0. So we want to move all terms with y prime to one side, so I'm going to rewrite this as 2x is equal to 2y y prime. Next, I'm just going to solve for y prime, so divide by 2y, divide by 2y, let's cancel, just left with y prime equals x over y. So let's look at this next problem here. Same thing. To solve, all you have to do is take the derivative with respect to x of both sides. So first step, take the derivative with respect to x of the entire thing. Derivative with respect to x of y is just y prime. Derivative of cosine, well, here you have to use the chain rule, generalized power rule. So derivative of cosine is negative sine. Argument stays the same, xy. Then you have to take derivative with respect to x of the argument, xy. So now let's take the derivative of the argument. Now here you have to use the product rule. So the derivative with respect to x of xy is just x y prime plus y. Now I'm going to distribute this sign, negative sign of xy, to both of these terms. So y prime is equal to negative x sine of xy y prime minus sine of xy y. Now I'm going to get all my y prime terms on one side, so I'm going to move this term over. Y prime plus x sine of xy y prime is equal to negative sine of xy y. I'm going to factor out my y prime. Y prime 1 plus x sine of xy, and that is equal to negative sine of xy y. Now I'm just going to solve for y. Just divide all of this over, divide by 1 plus x sine of xy. And you're left with y prime is equal to negative sine of xy y all over 1 plus x sine of xy. Now, sometimes it'll ask you for the implicit at a certain point. So in this case, it's asking at the point 3, 4. So it's the same process. Take the derivative of both sides with respect to x. Once again, we have to use the product rule here. X, y prime plus y is equal, and then derivative of a constant is just 0. Now let's isolate our y prime term. So x y prime equals negative y, and solve for y prime. Y prime is equal to negative y over x. So once you have solved for y prime, all you have to do is plug in your points. So in this case, x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 4. So we have negative 4 thirds. And that's it.